Hi, you're just in time for another hunting tip from Alan Williams at Dos Plumas Hunting Ranch.
Can you tell me a little bit about some advantages and disadvantages of hunting doves?
Well, the advantages are you're sharpening your shotgun skills. A lot of guys will go out pre-season and do a lot of skeet shooting or trap shooting to kind of get in tune with it. But I've heard, if you're a good dove shot, you are a pretty good marksman. And what I mean by that is I believe the average on dove hunting is one dove out of every 5 shots on the average of people. You'll go into Walmart, say, preseason, and you'll see a lot of your sporting goods stores will put your shotgun shells on sale by the case. So much a box, and then most guys will go in and buy a case. Now, they buy a case because they shoot a lot. There's a lot of shooting opportunities in dove hunting, and so it definitely once you get in tune with the flight of the birds and you knock off the rust off of your shooting skills, from being put up over wintertime, so to speak, the advantages are you become a better shot because there's so many shot opportunities and you figure it out. I know I use this as an example is when I moved to Wyoming several years ago. I lived up there for about 5 years, and I moved there in October. Well, September, I dove hunted all September before I moved to Wyoming in October. Well, a guy asked me if I wanted to go pheasant hunting with him, and I said, well, sure. I said, what's the limit? He said 3 roosters a day, and I said, okay, well, I'll just bring 3 shells. And he looked at me real puzzled, and I said, it can't be any harder than hitting a dove. He says, oh, man, I've shot 1.5 boxes of shells, and I haven't hit one yet. And I'm like, well, I can hit a dove pretty good, so I think it shouldn't be much of a problem. So I go out there, and I put in 3 shells in my shotgun, and I said, okay, I'm ready. He said, that's all you're taking? And I lied to him. I said, yeah, that's it. I mean, like I said, if 3 is my limit, then I only need 3 shells. I didn't tell him I had another box with me. But we were walking along there, and this pheasant jumped up, and I shot him, and he fell. And I said, well, there's one. And so we split up a little bit, and I was walking down the bottom of an old creek bed, and another one jumped up, and I shot, and I got 2. And then I saw another one running ahead of me through the willows in this creek bottom, and he was up on the bank looking down into the bottom of this creek. And I said, I see one running up here, and he shot that pheasant on the ground. He said, you're not getting that one. So, like I said, 2 shots, 2 pheasant, and I never told him I had a box with me just in case. But to this day, he only thinks I had 3 shells with me. But like I said, to me, if you can shoot a dove the way they dart like little jet fighters, dart around, and if you can hit those on a regular basis, they're pretty good. I'll never forget that one morning. Well, I probably shouldn't tell this story, so I'm going to back up and not do that. But let's just say the limit of dove was 15, and I shot 14 out of 15 shots. So,
wow.
If you can get to that level, you can pretty much shoot anything on the wing. So that's the advantages. The disadvantages of hunting doves is that if you're not a very good shot, it could cost you a lot in shotgun shells. That's the disadvantage to it. It's just I get the biggest kick out of how many guys come in with, buckets full of empty shells and only a couple of birds. It's hot. The weather's kind of, it's hot, so that's a disadvantage if you really think about it, as far as the bugs, the gnats, so you're having to take bug spray with you. That's a disadvantage. But I think guys have, if a guy that doesn't, say if he hunts spring turkey and it ends in middle of May, so he's got, June, July, August, and, hasn't been out in the field to hunt anything, he's ready to go pull the trigger on something. So They overlook the heat part of it. But that's the only disadvantage that I can think of, is that you might have to spend more money than you normally would on say, rifle shells because of how tough the birds are to actually hit.
Thanks, Alan. That was great. If you'd like more hunting tips, feel free to visit DosPlumasHuntingRanch.com and get to know Alan better. Or better yet, spend some time with Alan and Lori at Dos Plumas soon.